Good evening, everybody. This is What Does the Bible Say? My name is Caleb Robertson. I am an evangelist with the Danville Church of Christ, and the Danville Church of Christ works alongside of the Church of Christ that's located in Martinsville, meets and gathers at Martinsville at 823 Starling Avenue. Now tonight, look, we've got a local battle going on. I know that on the internet, we've got viewers who watch on YouTube. This is what the channel looks like. If you're watching tonight in Danville, Martinsville, Reedsville, North Carolina, then you have family members and friends who are outside the area, and you say this is good Bible material, and they take the fight, man. These guys take on the fight. Why? I'm trying to be a New Testament Christian. New Testament Christians do not sit on the sidelines. So you want to share this link with somebody so they can see it? That's fantastic. But what I was going to say to our YouTube audience, you might be saying, we're tired of hearing about the casino because we don't live in Danville. We've got people watching in Alaska, Oregon, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Wisconsin, Illinois. They're all over the place. And y'all are seeing us take on this local issue. Well, if you are someone who would be saying, well, I'm a little bit tired of it, let me say this. You could be taking pointers if they start trying to do this stuff in your area. And I had somebody from Florida talk to me earlier today, and he said, we've got a couple casinos where I live down here in Florida. He said, they're a mess. He said, you have a bunch of people that are drunk out in public early in the day. He said, because they just been camped out at the casino. They're already getting blitzed over the casino. He said, drug trafficking is just outrageous. It's a mess. Now, this is what I said when I have covered this whole topic. Danville City Council in particular, Mayor Alonzo Jones, he just says, little old Danville going to get a casino, possibly get a casino. And they act like it's this fantastic thing. Everything is that they're saying right now is total speculation and just total, like if you say pie in the sky, dreaming. Now, if they can speculate and say maybe, possibly, estimated, then I can come in and I can take their own report that Danville did, that they basically farmed out to a research group, and they did a report on what it's like for towns and counties that have casinos. I can take information that they have and speculate and say maybe, expected, could be, and we go through this together. Now, I'm going to ask one of our guys, we've got guys in the studio, can you go in there and see if we're on and just let me know? Now, you're with me tonight, right? And some people are new to this broadcast. I know that just recently we get them all the time, but I'm saying my interactions with locals, I know that they're going to be new to this broadcast. Now look at Ephesians chapter 4, verse number 15. I was talking to someone the other day, they're new to the broadcast, and I said, you need to be ready because we're going to be aggressive. I said, you may not be accustomed to it, but we're going to be aggressive. And when I look at Ephesians 4:15, look, y'all, I got an hour to do this broadcast. I got information to show you. I'm trying to change people's minds. I'm trying to help the community. We're going to be aggressive. I'm just not going to beat around the bush. And someone says, well, my feelings. Look, y'all, this is the truth. And when we say our feelings, I'm talking about we're fixing to put into place, into motion, decisions that are going to affect people's kids and their grandkids. So, no, I'm worried about their kids and their grandkids more than I'm worried of any adult's feelings, okay? But that's not to say that I don't love folk. I'm doing this tonight because I do love folk. Now, let's jump back to our PowerPoint slide. If you want to contact us, we're local, y'all. We are in the community. Dad was talking to multiple people in the community today, hearing their problems and talking about how their problems were going to possibly get worse with the casino. And they said, I hear you. One man in particular that Dad talked to, he said, I'm going to be honest with you, Johnny. He said, I am not really for the casino, he said, but I am very upset at the inconsistency of the religious community who does not oppose lottery tickets. He said they were fine and dandy to bring it into Danville. He said now they're upset about a casino. He said it's inconsistent. I don't like it. I don't like it either. I'm with you, man. I hear you. Now let's do this. Vote no. This is our signs. You're going to see them all over Danville. You're going to see them in different places. We're talking to people about it. Casino, vote no in November. Crime, bankruptcy, depression. Remember this way. No, no, no. We don't want that in Danville, Virginia. It's just so sad that we have to say it that way to all these educated men who are on the city council, that we the citizens have to look back at these people, these elected officials, and say, no, no, no. We don't want that. But in November, you need to tell them you don't want that. Now, jumping right in, I got to move quick because some people's attention spans don't last very long. I'm not being ugly, but you know that's how it is. I got to get to the meat. Y'all, I went to a meeting Tuesday afternoon, and me and my brethren, we went to this meeting. It was held at a local restaurant in Danville, Virginia, and I'm going to tell you, I knew those folk, knew the people who were coming in. That was a Baptist meeting. And I got to tell you tonight, this is the Baptist take on the casino. What is my mission tonight? I am talking to the membership of North Main Baptist, Westover Baptist, Mount Hermon Baptist, Tabernacle Baptist, and any other Baptist sect in Danville, Virginia. This is what I'm saying. You folk in the pew need to give your preachers a kick and tell them to get in gear for once in their preaching career. Now, what we're going to do tonight, and I'm going to show you this really fast, to show that the Danville Baptists have no intention of winning this fight against the casino. They have an intention to put on this lousy performance so at the end of the day they can say, well, we tried. No. I sat through that meeting super frustrated, 2 hours long, hearing that nonsense, knowing full well that I was going to report on it to the community, and here it is tonight. Now, this is what they started out saying in the meeting the other night. And let me say this too. I'm trying to help you here, and it's going to be easy and quick. Are you ready for this? Here's all the people that were there. Can you see them? You see me and Mark. That's Mark McManus over there. He got a phone call from somebody in Danville, and they said, we'd like for you guys to come by. And I'm going to be honest with you. He got that phone call from somebody who's new in town. And I have to say, probably these other folk would not have invited us, and I think that maybe she didn't know any better. Nonetheless, I appreciate the invitation. But look what we've got. In this little eating area, over in the corner, you got Fred Unger. He's from North Main Baptist. You got Danny Campbell. He's over at Tabernacle Baptist. This man sitting here, I can't remember his last name. His first name's Joey. He's from Tabernacle Baptist. Right here, this fella here, white hair, blue blazer, that's Doug Barber from Westover Baptist. Here's Steve Cromie, and he's from Mount Hermon Baptist. So you got all these players in the room. Here's what they said. Here's just point number one. I got to move quick to help you see this. They kept saying over and over and over, we need to get the young vote. We need to get the young vote. I'm helping you here, okay? I'm helping you. They said, we need to get the young vote. Here's what I'm saying. I'm going to show you tonight why you are not going to get the young vote. Okay, I'm going to Facebook, y'all. This is a group that, by and large, it's got Baptist backing. I'm helping you here. Look at this. This is it. This is Defend. It's called Defend Danville. Casino. You see this? I got to refresh it so I get their first post, okay? Now, here's a post that they made 7 hours ago. I'm helping you. Defend Danville. Did you know Schoolfield Elementary School is less than half a mile from the proposed casino? Now look at this. On this post, you guys, you see the section? You guys didn't tag anybody. There are a multitude of people in Danville that you could have tagged. You didn't tag them. I'm helping you. I'm trying to get your word out because I don't want the casino in here. You could have tagged people. You could have tagged city officials. You could have tagged the Rotary Club. You could have tagged the hospital. You could have tagged educators. You could have tagged your tax man, anybody. And you didn't tag anybody. And you've got a marketing team behind you, and I'm some dude, 27, and I'm telling you, you guys did not even tag anyone. Now let's look at this second point. I'm helping, but I'm telling the Baptist membership, y'all are going to have to shake these dudes up because they don't care. They are wildly, I'm talking about your pastors, are wildly ineffective. They're not used to taking on a fight. What are they used to doing? They're used to sitting down at the potluck and stuffing their face. They don't work, and I'm going to prove to you that they don't work, and y'all just keep funding. Caleb, man, what are you? 9 minutes into the show. Y'all, I care about this community. I care about your soul and the fact that on every other Sunday you hear false doctrine from these men. But right now, y'all, you are fixing to hurt the next generation. And you say, well, we're not doing it, Caleb. We're against the casino like you are. You are going to hurt the next generation because you're going to let losers represent you. Number one, you did not tag anybody. Now look at this. You say, well, we got 5 shares, Caleb. We got 5 shares. I'm going to click your 5 shares. Look what happens. The only one that I can see is Local Action Pack. There are 4 other people who shared it, and you know what? They've got their privacy settings to either friends only or nobody. You don't even have your Facebook public. I'm trying to help. But what can I do when y'all have all this? You say, well, we're the biggest Baptist church in town, and you can't even turn your stuff on public. You don't have an effective YouTube audience. You're not on TV. The Church of Christ in Martinsville and Danville is on local TV 7 hours a week. Now, how much local TV do y'all do? Have y'all gotten, now I'm getting ahead of myself, but let me make another point here. I believe, now I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, y'all correct me and I'll say, okay, I hear you, sorry. Local Action Pack, they shared this. I believe this was started for this issue, becoming casino. There's nothing specific to that name. Do you want people to find your information? Because that doesn't even have Danville or casino in it. Local Action Pack. Are you with me? I'm trying to help you guys. I know that you have professionals from like marketing backgrounds, but you're already doing a bad job. And I would like for this to be a good job. I'd like for these things to go well so that we don't get a casino. But I'm telling you, what do you have right now? You've got 89 people in all the city of Danville who like this. And right now, the Church of Christ is going into Martinsville, Danville, and North Carolina, and on the internet. And y'all can't even tag anybody. So here's my point. I wanted to say this a moment ago. Let's go back to the picture. I'm up in there with these folk. We got to get the young vote. Someone says, Caleb, why can't you be a team player? Because I don't want to be on a losing team. That's why. I'm not going to play ball with the Baptists who don't know how to dribble the ball. I'm on TV trying to tell people the dangers of the casino. Now let's pause and you say, well, what are the dangers of the casino? Do you know this exists? Man, y'all. You say, I don't like this. I don't see how this young man calls himself a Christian. You know what? If I was a Baptist, I'd be cussing right now. Because they cuss me out on the parking lot. I'm a Christian. I'm just not in any of y'all's man-made traditions. That's the problem that you have with me. Hello? Are you trying to get on what does the Bible say?
No.
Okay, well, I'll have to call you back. I'm on live TV. That was I don't know, somewhere in Virginia, but not local area code. You say, I am a Christian. I'm just not up in y'all's tradition. I don't march to your drum, and I'm not a part of your party line. But let's look at this. Take a look at this. Matthew 23. You know, Jesus wasn't a part of the religious elite either. Saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, all therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. You know, I say I wouldn't listen to your preachers and don't do what your preachers do. You know why? Your preachers don't do nothing. I'm trying to help. Now, here's the thing. You're frustrated at your preachers. I know that you are. I hear y'all complaining in town about your preachers. So why be mad at me while I'm up here actually talking about the casino and trying to inform the people of this? Now, what is this? This is the DRF. I'm going to come down a little bit. This is the Danville Regional Foundation, and they asked a third-party group called Fourth Economy Consulting to do a study into areas where casinos are brought in. Now listen to this point. Here we go. Are you ready for this? I'm here tonight. I'm saying I am warning Danville, Martinsville, and the North Carolina people who will be traveling up. That's the supposed thing. People from North Carolina are going to come to Danville. Here we go. Listen to this.
But in most other casino communities, the crime rate is higher. There's only been one national study that looked at casinos all across the study. It is old. They looked at a 20-year time period. They looked across the entire United States from 1977 to 1996. And they found that 8% of crime in casino counties was attributable to the casinos. A lot of time has passed. Police have better technology. They know how to do things better. So maybe that's an overestimate. But I also noticed criminals have also gotten more sophisticated and developed new methods. So that game is always playing out. So we can't predict what's going to happen. This study has been criticized by a lot of folks using various case studies and showing in this community crime was not impacted, in that community crime wasn't impacted. A couple of case studies don't outweigh the findings of a large national study. So we can't predict what's going to happen. This study has been criticized by a lot of folks using various case studies and showing in this community crime was not impacted, in that community crime wasn't impacted. A couple of case studies don't outweigh the findings of a large national study.
Now, did you hear what he just said? Don't tell me that your cousin Ted, who lives over in Wisconsin, is in a casino town and crime didn't affect their area. Did you hear what the expert just said? This is the research expert, and he just said all these little instances where you say, well, the crime wasn't raised, he said, does not outweigh the long-standing national study. And what does the long-standing national study say? That crime rate goes up at least 8%. Someone says, well, 8% isn't very high. Well, how about if you're in that 8%? You'll be thinking it's high. I don't want any increase in crime. Can you believe somebody would say that? 8% crime rate isn't very high. This is Sudafed. These are allergy pills, if you're wondering what I'm fiddling with and what type of pills I got in my hand. You say you're watching this broadcast and you can't figure me out. Y'all, I live here. That's my problem. I live here and I don't want a casino to come in, and I can't get religious figures in the town to actually wake up. This man, the expert, he just said, long-standing research in America, crime rate will raise at least 8%. Now, he's going to say something else. Listen to this.
And in 20 years, no critic has replicated the time frame or scale of this study. So I can't say that there's going to be an 8% increase in crime. What we're saying is crime could increase. This is a risk, and you need to be prepared if it happens. You need to be able to say that, will this generate enough benefits and enough revenue that this is okay? Now, a lot of this crime just related to any attraction you do, anything you do that would bring in 6,000 visitors a day is going to increase your crime. But casinos are still a little different because most of those other attractions don't have those visitors leaving with cash in their pockets. And the legislature hasn't set a limit on how much the casino can pay out in cash, but in some states that's $20,000 or more.
Now, do you know what he just said? He said on any basis where you bring 6,000 outsiders into your town, he said on any basis of 6,000 outsiders coming into town, your crime is subject to go up. He said, but that's with the idea that they're not walking out of a casino with $20,000. So what he really just said to you all was, it's pretty much expected. If you bring in 6,000 visitors from out of town who don't care about your community, who don't know people in town when they're breaking into someone's car, someone says, you can't break into that car, that's my cousin Ted's car. He doesn't know your cousin Ted. He's going to break into that car and he's going to go back to the casino. This is the expert, y'all. And they're an outside party, non-biased, and they're giving you straight information. Crime rate, he says at least 8% is a long-standing study. Now the point that he also is going to make, someone's going to say, well, that study was done, he said, from the 70s to the 90s. Okay. And all the time from the 90s till 2020, nobody has dismantled that study. So it's still in place. And I just got a text a minute ago from a Danville personality, and they said, look, man, 8% is enough for me. They don't want it. Okay. Let's jump back over here. You're not going to get the young vote. Now, I want to demonstrate something to you also. Now, you didn't tag anybody, and you got your privacy settings to private rather than public. This is my Facebook. Caleb Robertson, are you ready for this? Will the casino really be good for Danville? Here's why I don't think so. Now look what I'm going to do. I'm helping Lisa Jones. That's a Danville educator. Let's see. Patrina McCree. That's a Danville educator who is actually running for a city council. Okay, here goes a couple more. Xavier J. Warren. That's a native Pennsylvania County citizen who has, put himself out there running for, I think, what did it say, lieutenant governor? So he's going to see this. Okay, here's another one. Sheila Baines. Now, Sheila Baines, let's see if I spelled her name correctly. Sheila Baines is actually one of the board members of DCC. That's a Danville educator. Now let me hit one more. Sylvia Brooks. That's just a local law enforcement officer, and I would like to pause and say thank you, Miss Brooks, for protecting the community and the rest of the Danville Police Department. Appreciate what you guys do. I am not a part of the idea of defunding the police. Thank you guys. But here's what I've got. Facebook, public, and I'm sending them to What Does the Bible Say YouTube about the casino. Posting. They got it, y'all. It's that easy. And y'all talk about we need to get the young vote. You ain't getting nothing from the community. And your preachers aren't really going to try. Now let's move on. Let's keep going. They say we need to get the young vote. Now I do need to make a point here. What options do you have when you're on the job and you are performing poorly? Somebody comes along and they whisper to you, "Hey man, you don't get in gear, these dudes will fire you." Fire me? That's pretty drastic. No, you get in shape or you lose your job. And that's the same thing when you're in school. The teacher says, look, if you can't bring your GPA up, you're not going to make it. What does that mean? That means you're going to have to crank down. You're going to have to study. You're going to have to apply yourself. You're going to have to change something that you're doing. You guys, oh man, I got so much in here I'm just going to have to come back to because here's my point. You guys need to realize this is your Baptist reality. It's, so you can talk about Caesar's Casino, but I am saying y'all think you're fixing to put Steve Cromie in the ring with Mike Tyson? And I'm not talking about me. I'm saying y'all think y'all are going to take on a casino and you're going to have Steve Cromie? Now, wait a second. Somebody be saying, now, Caleb, I like Steve Cromie. Hey, I got no personal problem with Steve Cromie. I bet he is a nice guy. I saw him the other day, and he was talking about going golf, and I like to golf. We might go golfing together. I'm up for it if he is, but here's my thing. He's not equipped for this. And I will tell you why. Look at this, y'all. Here's a video. Get ready.
Are you recording me?
Why not say no?
Well, my opinion is this. First of all, you should have told me that you're recording.
Now, here's my thing. That was January when the city council was voting to even allow the November vote, to bring in the November vote. I was there. I had a file in my hand with all manner of casino statistics and news articles. I'm talking with city council member Larry Campbell there, and guess what? I didn't see Steve Cromie there. Let's go to another one. Y'all see who that is? That's Mark McMinnis talking to City Council member Mr. Saunders. Now, I believe that Mr. Saunders was affiliated with a Baptist church out in Ringgold. So Larry Campbell is an apostolic. His dad is the apostle to the world. You think that the apostle to the world would be against the casino in Danville. And then you get this man who I believe is connected to the Baptist sect. And here's my point. I was there. Mark was there. A handful of our other brothers in Christ were there. And I didn't see any of y'all there. So if you think local Danville Baptist, Westover Baptist, oh man, I got a point for y'all. Oh, Westover Baptist, North Main Baptist, Tabernacle Baptist. If y'all think that you're just going to wake up from your very, very long inactive nap and step in the ring with Mike Tyson, you're out of your mind. Now here's the thing. Earlier I said I'm not going to play ball on a losing team. If y'all get in gear, I'll play ball. I can help. I'm saying the Church of Christ can help. It's not like you have to wear a banner that says, or a badge that says, we accepted Caleb Robertson's help. We want the same thing. We want the casino to not come to Danville. Now, here's my thing. Look at this. Here's something else that they said inside of this exclusively Baptist meeting, what appeared to be exclusively Baptist meeting. They started talking about possibilities to get the information out. They said, number one, we got to get the young vote. Well, you're not doing too hot on that right now because you didn't tag anybody. Your privacy settings are set to private rather than public, so when people share it, nobody sees it. You could be tagging all these different people in Danville. You're not doing it. You could be naming your stuff. Now, I'll give it to you. Defend Danville was all right. The other one, what was it? I've already forgotten. Local pack? I don't know. Not good. So here's the thing they said. Direct mail out would be too expensive. And they quoted the number was around $8,000. a direct mail out for, like they said, a simple postcard to everybody in Danville, and maybe they extended out to the county, I don't know. But the number was about $8,000, around $8,000. They said that'd be too expensive. So let me show you something.
Good to see you. How you doing? Are you one of the preachers who lead the prayer today? No. Well, do y'all have to have a permit to do this?
Let me go a little bit further.
Bob, it's good to be here this morning. It's good.
Y'all know who that is? That's R.J. Barber, and that's Doug Barber. Now, Doug Barber was in this meeting the other day. What y'all going to do about the Danville Casino? Doug Barber was there. So here's what gets me. An option gets put on the table. Mail out. I'm going to tell you a more effective way, but before I get there, I'm trying to help. Remember? I don't want the casino. Who am I talking to? Let's pause. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to people in the pew, and I know a lot of people in the pew, and I know a lot of people, Baptist people in the pew, are watching this right now. I know your preachers don't like me, but why do your preachers not like me? Man, if your preachers were doing what I am doing, they'd love it. But the Church of Christ continuously makes your lazy pastors look bad. Now, I'm saying to you, members in the pew, kick them and get them in gear. And let's work and get this casino out of here. All right. A direct mail out would be too expensive, around $8,000. Man, I'd like to know what y'all spend on court and lawyer fees to take the Church of Christ to court when Micah was going to the question and answer and y'all couldn't take questions at a publicly advertised question and answer. So what happened? Westover Baptist puts out a trespassing charge. How much did that cost? How much did that whole ordeal cost y'all? And all these different Danville Baptists rallied around it, and you lost. That's what I'm saying. You want to play on our team, Caleb? I don't want to play on a losing team. No, thank you. You'll spend money on worthless court fees, but you say a mail-out would be too expensive. Let's talk about this. North Main Baptist, y'all just did a huge addition to your already big building. Y'all got money. You made a huge addition to the building at North Main Baptist. Then you put together with Mount Hermon Baptist. Then you put it together with Tabernacle Baptist. I said North Main, Mount Hermon, Tabernacle, and Westover. Y'all can't afford $8,000? Give me a break. That's why I'm saying y'all don't want to win. You want to come out here and kind of kick the ball and say, well, we tried. You didn't try, and you're not trying. Now, let me tell you a more effective way than this direct mail-out business. You know what you could do? Y'all never heard of pressing the flesh? Why don't you go door to door and talk to people? You send a mail out. Why? I don't want to talk to that dude. I don't talk to strangers. Are you kidding me? Look, man, I talk to strangers all the time. Now, why don't you go door to door? Do you know what? I tell you what. The Danville Church of Christ, we go door knocking almost every Sunday. We are in the community, and they see us, and they know us. They know our material. They know what we're doing. They don't have a clue who you are. Y'all keep teaching false doctrine. I don't care if they know who you are. I hope they don't know who the Baptist church is. But as far as this casino goes, you say you want it to not come to town. I don't believe you because you're not putting any type of action into this. Your web savvy is non-existent. This idea is bad, but here's my point. Someone could say, well, we can't canvass the entire area of Danville. We do. And here's what y'all say. Y'all take y'all's combined membership, North Main Baptist, Mount Hermon Baptist, Westover Baptist, and Tabernacle Baptist, and on a Tuesday, y'all would talk to me and say, well, Caleb, we got more membership than y'all do, so we must be doing something right compared to what you do. Then how is it the case that we outwork y'all all the time? 7 hours of TV a week, door knocking almost every week, 2-week tent meetings in the summer. We've been on TV exposing this casino. I just put in a letter to the editor in the Danville paper today. Y'all should have people flooding the Danville paper. It's just ridiculous with the amount of money and the manpower that y'all have. Y'all are so lazy and undetermined, it is unbelievable. I'm talking to the Baptist membership. You don't like what I'm saying? Tell your preacher about it. When this casino thing is done, I will gladly debate any preacher that you put out here of the Baptist church on the things that y'all don't like me for. You don't like me because I teach Mark 16:16 that a person has to be baptized to be saved. Get Steve Cromie to debate me on it. You say that your babies are born in sin and they're going to hell. My baby's going to heaven, man. I don't know about you, and I can prove it with the Bible. Y'all want to have Steve Cromie debate me on that? I tried 2 years ago. He wouldn't do it. What am I doing? I want y'all to help get the casino out of here. Now, let me tell you another point about door knocking. We have door knocked this community so much. And here's the thing, y'all. I can show you maps of our yearly door knocking and the highlights of where we go. Here's the thing. I can tell you what neighborhoods and what streets and what areas to not waste your time on. And someone says, okay, here we go. Caleb's fixing to tell us what's part of the community he doesn't like. I'm telling you where people don't live. We have walked up and down all kinds of streets, and we usually have a bus. We've got a bus, and our driver takes us from street to street so that we don't have to do unnecessary walking, and so this is what we do. We get in a particular neighborhood, we get on a particular set of couple of roads, and we notice, hey, nobody lives over here anymore. We get on our phone, we say, can you come pick us up? Nobody lives over here. I could help y'all save time if you'd let me. You say, well, Caleb, we are going to go door knocking. Do you know where to go? Let me help you. Let me help you, y'all. You can do it for cheaper than this. You could print your own material and do the manpower, and it would be cheaper than $8,000. But even still, I know y'all got the money because y'all spend it on lawyer fees and court fees. Can I pause and say one thing, too? I want to make a point. When all that Jerry Falwell Jr. stuff was going on, I'm against sin, but I was trying to take up for him a little bit. The point that I made was, I said, what if we put everybody's sins out on the table? Y'all wouldn't be so vocal against him, right? If everybody got to know the stuff that you do and know me, you know me entirely, just all my flaws, we wouldn't put Jerry out on the table. Someone would say, well, I'm not doing what Jerry does. Are you sinning? Then it doesn't matter if you say, well, I didn't do exactly what Jerry did. And now I want to make this point. When all the Danville Baptists were taking my brother to court, Jonathan Falwell, he said, I don't agree with this. And I'm saying thank you. And I'm not saying that's why I took up. That's not why I took up for Jerry Jr. Jonathan's out there and he makes a statement, I don't agree with what they're doing. He took up for my brother, so I extend myself, I'm going to take up for your brother. No, I'm doing that for Jerry because I think that's the truth. Was he sinning? Yes, he was sinning. Was it shocking to people? Yes, it was shocking to people. But I'm saying if you knew what half the people were doing, you would say it's not so shocking. Here I'm trying to help y'all. I'd like to help. Now let's keep looking at this. Here's another idea they had. They said, well, we're not going to do a direct mail out because it's too expensive. I can fix that. You go door to door. You have personal interaction. That is so much better to have personal interaction where you can talk about it and beat back ideas. Now, I tell you this, if you had personal interaction, and Dad was talking to somebody today, and they were kind of on the fence, and they didn't know if they wanted to take a sign yet. Our purple and green sign, vote no in November, casino, crime, bankruptcy, depression. They didn't know if they wanted to take the sign. It's a good-looking sign, but I don't know if I want it. So Dad keeps talking to him, and by the time that it was done, what's Icon's first name? Carl Icahn. Dad said, do you remember Carl Icahn from years ago? And he said, yes, I do. And he said, do you know? And he starts talking about how it's entering the mix, and the dude said, give me a sign. You don't get that with a direct mail out. You don't get personal interaction where you can hear from the people and bat ideas back and forth. Now, here's the second idea they had. What this is going to accomplish is beyond me. Now, I am a praying man. Number two, if you're not a Christian, you don't get to pray, so y'all's prayers aren't going to go very far. What did he just say? Y'all are Baptist, aren't you? That's what you got on your sign. Mount Hermon Baptist, North Main Baptist. Tabernacle doesn't have Baptist on it anymore, and the lady told me y'all just took it down because it blew off in the wind. You didn't bother to put it back up. Okay. Then you got Westover Baptist. Y'all aren't Christians. You don't ever tell anybody, I'm a Christian. If I asked you directly, and it wasn't me, and you weren't ready for the conversation, you'd say, I'm a Baptist, born Baptist. You're not Christians. But let's look at this. Here's the idea. Let's rent the Kmart parking lot, and we'll go all out there and we'll pray. You know where y'all got that? This is where y'all got that.
Y'all think you're going to be leading prayer today? No? Well, Doug, do y'all have to have a permit to do this? We got permission to play. So you just got permission? You didn't have to got permission. Did not require permit? Okay. I appreciate you answering that question. It wasn't so tough, was it? But I would prefer you don't ask any more questions.
Y'all got this business about we're going to go out to Kmart and pray in front of everybody. Why don't you inform everybody? And somebody, I'm ready for you, man. You say, Caleb, how dare you knock the power of prayer? You really think I'm getting on TV as a New Testament Christian, I'm about to knock the power of prayer? Matthew 6, verse number 6. Why don't y'all do your praying at home and take the money that you would use to rent out a parking lot and get on Star News like the Church of Christ is? Now, here's the thing. Some of y'all are going to say, we don't like Star News. I'll tell you who likes Star News. Caesars Casino likes Star News. They're advertising on Star News. Are you guys on Star News? We offered somebody free airtime the other night. They're against the casino. We said, would you like to come on and participate and have conversation? Their response was, I said, the thing about it is, it'll be at 8 o'clock and it'll be in Martinsville. And they said, well, I got to tell you, that's past my 7-year-old's bedtime. And when they said that, I knew right away, you will never accomplish anything in this effort. If your kid can't miss their bedtime for one night, and of all the people you know, you couldn't possibly find a babysitter. And I'm saying, y'all, my dad has had me out hours of the night doing the Lord's work, and I saw every bit of it. Y'all are not in this. Y'all are not serious. Y'all playing around, and I'm telling you, Caesars Casino ain't playing, and the Danville City Council ain't playing, and y'all get up here and have your little private meeting amongst your fellow Baptists, and you eat your sandwiches. Free food? Yeah, we'll be there free food. Are you on the streets? Are you buying airtime? And you know what? If they come back and they say, well, you know, slap on you, Caleb, we got airtime. What are you going to do with it? That's my thing. You're going to be aggressive? You can't be aggressive. I'm going to show you at the end of this broadcast why they can't be aggressive. Now, again, like I said, someone says, well, this dude being ugly. No, I'm a citizen here. I don't want a casino to come in, and this is what we're working with. It's really not what we're working with. We're going to do our work regardless of what y'all do. I'm not knocking the power of prayer. I'm saying let's be smart here. Let's pray, and let's put the information out on TV. Now, let me make another point, too. You know, about educating the community. Jesus said, you pray, you give thanks for your daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. Does anybody pray at home? Give me my daily bread and you don't go to work. Now, why are y'all going to rent out the Kmart parking lot and pray out in the parking lot so everybody can see you pray, but you don't go to work? You got to think about these things. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to the membership. Now, I want to do some more points here. You don't, and you might be at home, you might be jumping out of your armchair. You love this material. But you might be saying, we don't like it. Well, I'm going to tell you there's nothing wrong with the way I'm doing all this information. Look at this. In Acts 24:5, they said, we have found this man to be a pestilent fellow. Now, you think Caleb Robertson, and you say he's just a little pest and we don't like him. I'm fine with that. I'm not out here trying to win a popularity contest. I'm not running for city council. I'm trying to get things done. Now, you can get on board with this or not, and if you say, well, not, then you're going to be having a casino in your lap. Let's go back to this. They need a better plan. They need better arguments. Y'all, young people, y'all, let's put some more Bible in here. This is a program called What Does the Bible Say? Maybe you're watching this broadcast and you don't like me because I look too young. I'm 27 years old and you say I don't know nothing. Y'all got to stop this stuff about talking bad about millennials, man. You say, a bunch of idiots, don't know nothing, don't do nothing. They got a voting power, don't they? And y'all out here trying to get it while you're also talking trash to them. Let me tell you why the millennials might be talking trash about y'all. Y'all make bad arguments. Mr. Joey over here, who came over from Tabernacle Baptist, he said, well, it's already been asked to me. He said, well, what's the difference if we go over to Atlanta? He said, morality, right? The moral argument. He said, what's the difference if I go over to Atlantic City and I gamble, or if I just gamble in Danville, Virginia? And he said, this was his answer. Atlantic City doesn't prey on the locals of Danville, Virginia. Give me a break, Tabernacle. That is a horrible argument. You are still coming together. This is the same principle of Matthew 7:12. Whether you're doing it in Danville or whether you're doing it in Atlantic City, the only way for you to win in a casino is you beat out your neighbor. So what? They come to Atlantic City and you don't see them go home destitute to wherever they come from. That's a horrible argument. Millennials are going to see through it. Can I make a point again? Let's go back a couple slides. You know why he's making that bad argument? Y'all would be making better arguments if you would just allow yourself to talk with me. And I'm not saying just me personally. You say, well, Caleb Robertson, Savior of Danville. I'm saying that if you would talk to more people you disagree with, you would find it's exercise. Now, why is it that I can do what I do and y'all can't? Your preacher can't. Steve Cromie can't. You know why? Because he's not talking to enough people. You might be saying, well, you don't know who he's talking to. Who's he talking to? Because when I go to a meeting about what Danville's going to do about the casino, it's nothing but Baptists. Now, don't be giving me this stuff about, well, so-and-so over in the corner was a Catholic. No. I'm talking about widespread, phone lines open. You could call in and talk with me. Take it on. He doesn't do that. None of those Baptist preachers do, and this is my thing. Y'all are so unpracticed. You think you're going to step up to the plate to bat? No, you're not. You're going to strike out because you're not practiced. Let's go back. You're making bad arguments. That's why, and I wanted to say this a moment ago, that's why we're able to do what we do, is because we talk to, it doesn't matter. I was looking at Presbyterian stuff earlier. It doesn't matter to me. I can do it, man. I will talk to you about Presbyterian doctrine. I will talk to you about Methodist doctrine, Methodist history, Baptist doctrine, Baptist history. Because I read y'all's stuff. And as bad as they are, I listen to y'all's lessons. I wanted to say a moment ago, do y'all know, some of y'all know Mark, a lot of y'all know Mark, and you heard that video of him talking to Doug Barber a moment ago, and somebody said, why is that Mark McMinnis, why is he the way that he is? I'll tell you why he's the way that he is. Mark is the way that he is because he found out one day that the Baptist church had been teaching him false doctrine. And when he found that out and he looked around and he saw all these other people that they're just teaching false doctrine to, he couldn't take it. I don't know why y'all don't feel that same way. You sit in the pew and you know good and well, you're looking at your Bible and you're hearing what he's saying, you're saying, that is not what the Bible says. And you keep going. Well, the thing about it, Mark quit going to the Baptist church. Here I'm getting text from Greensboro. He says this is from Greensboro, praying that the religious community will stand up and boldly say no to the casino. We're working, man. Thank you for the text. I know who you are. I remember talking with you. Thank you for the text. We're working out here. That's a bad argument to say, well, they go over to Atlantic City, but it doesn't hurt Danville. You shouldn't be supporting casinos anywhere. That's how we got where we are. Casinos keep being supported by these, and I'm saying, y'all, Baptist folk going to go to the casino. If you think they're not, you are out of your mind. Baptist folk going to go. And that's why that we even have the possibility that it's coming to Danville, because y'all haven't been opposing it in Atlantic City. Now, I'm fixing to show you in the remaining time why you will never will y'all get the young vote. I wish that you could, man. I wish that I could basically confidently say that, you know, we're doing our thing. We got our signs. And I'm going to say this. We had our signs before y'all had your signs. We've been hitting it on TV. Y'all still aren't on TV. I've been doing this since January. Y'all weren't even at the city council meeting. I didn't see anybody from Tabernacle, North Main, Westover, or Mount Hermon. I didn't see any other religious person there. Y'all are never going to get the young vote. You're never going to accomplish anything in this town. You are not about to preach to millennials when you don't even follow the Bible. Now, this part is non-gambling related. I'm going to get back on gambling in the casino, so don't leave me. You show up to the door, and I hope that every young person you talk to, if you get on their doorstep, hello, I'm from Mount Hermon Baptist. I'd like to talk to you about the casino. I'm from Mount Hermon Baptist. I hope they open the door and say, where's the Baptist church in the Bible? And you're just sitting there, nothing to say. You will never help the young people. and the young people will continue to look at you as a joke. Let me pause. I'm from Sacred Heart Catholic. I'd like to talk to you about the casino. Man, where's the Catholic Church? Where's the Pope in the Bible? Y'all out here praying to Mother Mary. Get off my porch. Methodists, Presbyterians, Seventh-day Adventists, Episcopalians, Mormon, Jehovah's Witness, Pentecostals, Apostolics, all of you will never reach the young voting crowd because you are wildly inconsistent when it comes with the Bible. The churches of Christ salute you. And I hope, y'all, that the millennials have enough sense. I'm a millennial. They get their Bible out and they recognize there's only one church in the Bible. It's the Church of Christ. And y'all start trying to play that nonsense with these millennials, and you say, well, that's just all the sects. This is all the sectarian groups. We all make the churches. And I hope, man, I hope that these millennials take you to Romans 16:1, and they ask you, are you saying to me that the church which was at Cenchrea was a Baptist church? Are you telling me that the first fruits from Achaia were Methodists? I hope, man, I don't want anybody to get physical with anybody, but I'm saying in a spiritual way, I hope they clean y'all's clock. And I hope you wake up. And when you wake up and you say, how'd we get here? I'll tell you how you got there. You spent the last 20 years paying your Baptist pastors to teach you absolutely nothing. Point number 2, you're not going to reach the young crowd. Have y'all consistently been teaching against lottery tickets? It's gambling, man. Now, if you're not going to follow, this is what Dad said last night on his TV program. I'm sitting at home. I laughed out loud when he said, do I really have to tell y'all that gambling is a sin? Y'all don't know that already? You say, Caleb, I've been going to church my whole life. Then you should know this stuff. Romans 2:20 and 21. Instructor of the foolish, teacher of babes, which hast the form of knowledge and the truth in the law. Thou therefore which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself. Now you're out here telling the community you don't want a casino. Have you been telling the congregation they can't be playing the lottery? This is so simple. And what I'm doing right now, any millennial out there, when you're out there pandering for their vote in whatever way that you think you're going to do it, you're out there pandering to these millennials, they're going to say this to you. What was your position on lottery? Y'all got members over at Mount Hermon playing the lottery? And here's my thing. People, number one, you're not going to win the lottery. And again, is that not how the jackpot goes up? The jackpot continues to go up as people continue to lose. Now here's my thing. The Church of Christ is doing the Lord's work, so we don't have a problem for people to give. Ian and I were in a Bible study the other night, and they said something about giving. I don't know what. Oh, they were asking us the difference between tithing and giving. So I explained it to them. And I asked them, I said, when y'all go to the sectarian, man-made sectarian groups, how often do you hear about tithing? They said all the time. I looked at Ian. Ian's been with us for about 3 years now. I said, Ian, have you heard me preach a whole lesson on giving the whole 3 years you've been here? He said, I haven't heard you preach an entire lesson on giving while I've been here. Because we're doing the Lord's work, 2-week tent meetings in the summer, 7 hours of TV a week, we don't have to beg over here. People are so thrilled to death and enthused to be a part of the Lord's work. You're sitting over there saying, well, we do the Lord's work. What, a potluck? You ain't doing the Lord's work. And now you're trying to. You say, we'd like to do the Lord's work, and you don't know how because you've never been doing it before. If you haven't been teaching against lottery tickets, you're not going to make any headway with the young people. What you ought to be saying, let's say this. If you're playing lottery tickets, quit. Take the monthly money that you would use and give it, I'm saying, to really support the Lord's work. And in the local community, how are you going to support the Lord's work? What does the Bible say? You know, man, you know that if the casino does not come here, you know it's not because of Mount Hermon Baptist or any of those other people. I'm saying those Baptist groups. We've been hitting this since January. And if you're saying, well, we'd like to help the Lord's work, I'm going to tell you this too. You know that meeting that I went to, Mark and our other brother, he was over there with us, we were out there, and you know what they did? They took up money. If you'd like to make out these checks, make them to this person. They ain't going to do a thing without passing a plate. And where's it going? The day we went, they didn't have their signs yet. I haven't seen them on TV. We offered somebody in that group free airtime. They didn't take it. You're not going to get the young vote. I don't think that y'all really want to win. I think. Now, let me make this point too. New point, separate point. I don't think you're going to win. I don't think you want to win. Here's my next point. Okay, you ready? I get a lot of phone calls from Danville folk, and I said, I don't think that y'all want to win. I think y'all are planning to lose, and you want to be able to say, we tried. Well, I get phone calls from people in Danville, man, y'all got this defeatist attitude. You get on the phone with me, you are so negative, you are so pessimistic. Matthew 17:20, he says, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if you had faith as a grain of mustard seed, you would say to this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible to you. And I'll tell you what you could do. You're in the Baptist sect, and you talk to me. You know who you are, right? I know you. You know I know you. And I know that you've been complaining about your particular Baptist preacher because he ain't doing nothing. So let's do this. Stop with your defeatist attitude. Stop doing nothing at all, no action at all with your Baptist sect, and come help me pass out flyers on Sunday afternoon. Tell people to watch What Does the Bible Say Sunday night at 9, Wednesday night at 9, Thursday night at 8, because we're the only religious group in this area who does 7 hours of TV a week, and we're hitting the casino left and right. You think they don't know who we are? They don't know who your preacher is, for sure. Number 3, back on Bible. You're never going to reach the young people. Young people aren't stupid. Here's the thing. They don't agree with you, man. And they see through your nonsense. Man, they see through the Southern Baptist Convention. They don't care about your Southern Baptist Convention roots. They don't care about y'all's tradition. Look, y'all, let's reason through this. Baptists teach once saved, always saved. The Bible does not. Is it possible that a Christian could lose his salvation and actually find himself in hell? It's possible. Do I believe in grace? I believe in a lot of grace. I appreciate the Lord's grace. But I can't say that it's impossible for a person to fall away, and I'm going to show you why. Just so you know for your notes. Galatians 5:4, he says, those of you, Christ has become none effect unto you, whosoever are justified by the law, you are fallen from grace. Now, who is he writing to? The church in Galatia. If he's writing to people inside the church located at Galatia, they're Christians, they're saved, they've got grace, and he said, you just fell from grace. It's possible. But here's what the millennials are going to say to you. You got some millennials over there in y'all's Baptist church? You're going to say, y'all voting no for the casino? And they're going to say, I don't know, Doug Barber, if I go over there, am I going to be once saved, always saved? What are y'all going to say? You don't have a clue. Your pastors hadn't been getting ready for this. And that's the thing, y'all. I care about people. So that's why I study to get the answers. I care about people. I care about their kids. I care about their grandkids. And if anybody comes to me and asks a question, I want to try to have the Bible answer. 1 Timothy 6:9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts which drown men in destruction and perdition. I care about y'all's young folk. You're millennials. Y'all talk trash about them, and I know that you do, but I care about them. And I don't want this to happen to them. You see these words? They will be rich. Oh, man, we're going to win big over the casino. How you going to win big? Well, they're going to have 2,000 slot machines, man. There's room for everybody to get rich in there on those 2,000 slot machines. So you want to be rich. You're tempted. You go in and you find yourself in a trap and a snare. Many foolish and hurtful lusts which drown men in destruction and perdition. You know what's going to happen? Let me go back over here. Let me show you this video again. In this discussion, he's actually going to say, if you had asked me, I would have thought always, all along, that 21 was the gambling age. And so he actually said in this discussion, this is DRF, let's get you the information again. Danville Regional Foundation, oh man, asked Fourth Economy Consulting, and he said it's undecided whether 18-year-olds will get to gamble or 21-year-olds will get to gamble. So here's what's going to happen. The idea is that your 20s are your defining decade because you are laying a basis for the rest of what you're going to do in life. Now, I do want to make this point too. There are people that would say you're getting yourself ready in your 20s. Okay, well, after your 20s, you get into your 40s and you're kind of set. You're feeling like we're cemented out here. The choices that you make in your 40s are going to be determined what you do the rest of your life. But here's what's going to happen. These young folk are going to get out there, and they, instead of being smart, like the book of Proverbs would say, they should be smart, they should be building up a nest egg. They're going to go to that casino. And I'm saying, y'all, young married couples, you know, you've been married a long time. You say, it's not easy being married. It's not easy being young and married and broke. Who's thinking about these folk? And the best argument the Tabernacle can come up with is, why can't we go to Atlantic City then? Well, they don't prey on locals. But you could still go over to Atlantic City and lose everything you got. And you be from Danville. Don't do it, y'all. What should we do? Let's pause and say, okay, Caleb, we're watching this. What do you want us to do? Membership. Membership in the local Baptist churches. And I'm telling you, I'm saying, y'all, I know people who are at Blair's Baptist, and you and I both know your preacher ain't doing nothing. Love you, but you know your preacher ain't doing nothing. I know people that I have met door knocking that have come to visit with us, that we have met through the tent meetings. I know you. I know your preacher. I figure you're watching tonight. Why aren't you pressing harder? You know, we're gonna step back away from this in the future, and whatever happens, you're going to be looking at a select group of people, and you're going to say, those folks sat by and did nothing. I say the same same thing back to you in the pew. You got to start taking some action, man. And that means talking to your preacher, talking to your deacon board. You know what you could do? I tell you what you could do. You could start putting phone calls in to your convention and saying, this dude down here ain't working. He won't like it. You say, well, I don't know that we would really get anywhere. I guarantee you your preacher won't like it. And I'm telling you this, why should he be comfortable while he does nothing? Who cares about what he likes while he does nothing? So far, all that has been accomplished was everybody came into that eatery and got a free lunch. They didn't have their signs in. They haven't been on TV yet. And all the while, Caesars is advertising on Star News. Y'all got beef with Charles Rourke? You need to get over it and get some airtime. We care about people, so we're trying to get the message out there. Now, let me close out with this, y'all. This is what I wanted to close out with. Closing out, my friend, Leonard R. Jones. Leonard R. Jones was a part of the effort to keep electronic gaming out of Martinsville, Virginia. Leonard R. Jones is a former president of the NAACP, and he was helping keep electronic gaming out of Martinsville. Y'all should be sick to death that this is your representative, Tommy Bennett. Tommy Bennett is a one-man gay pride parade, and he is now the president of the Danville chapter of the NAACP. I care about Schoolfield. What does he care about? Wearing knee-high snakeskin boots and just parading as a homosexual. You know, if you get online, and now let's look at this, y'all. Why are you talking about Tommy Bennett? Here's a letter to the editor from Tommy Bennett. I recently attended Bible Way Cathedral worldwide, for morning worship, and I was so impressed by the fact that the church I attend when I am in Danville teaches voter education and permits voter registration. Are y'all talking about voting no for the casino over at Bible Way? Do y'all ever wonder why it is that the Campbells put up with Tommy's behavior? Tommy is an open homosexual, which is obviously against the Bible. And he's always talking about Bible Way Cathedral. Look at this. I am proud of my parents, the late Eugene and Marie Bennett, who were both bail bondsmen in Danville. They bailed out the founder and pastor apostle Lawrence G. Campbell during his arrest as a leader in the local civil rights movement in 1963. You know, that doesn't give Tommy a pass to be a homosexual. For all the voter discussion that goes on over there, and I'm saying, y'all, if you Google Tommy Bennett, almost every news story that comes up with him has to do with homosexuality, the fact that he's a gay man. I care about Schoolfield. I care about Danville. That's all this is. Do I have a hidden agenda that you don't know about? No. I love Danville. I love the souls, love your kids, love your grandkids. I don't want the casino to come in. I hope that y'all will start doing a better job. I got to go. Out of time. Love y'all. Here's all our contact information. Come back and see us Sunday night at 9 on What Does the Bible Say. God bless you. Good night.